warm welcome to Stevo's Portal, your hub for insightful and motivating content. Remember to show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. Today we're diving into a pervasive issue that many of us grapple with: overthinking. Overthinking can make mountains out of molehills, drain our positivity, and cripple our decision-making. But fear not, because there are practical strategies to tackle this mental hurdle. Stay with us as we delve into practical strategies to combat overthinking and live a more fulfilling life. The first step to stop overthinking involves setting time limits for decision-making. You see, our minds are often caught in a loop of endless possibilities, creating a state of decision-making paralysis. It's like standing in front of a vending machine, filled with a variety of snacks. Do you go for the chocolate bar or the packet of crisps? The longer you take, the more you overthink. Now, imagine setting a time limit for this decision, say 1 minute. This time constraint pushes your brain to prioritize and make a decision quicker. It's not about rushing, but about avoiding the pitfall of overanalyzing every minor detail. This technique can be applied to larger decisions too, whether it's choosing a university course, deciding on a career path, or even selecting a holiday destination. Setting a time limit can help you break free from the shackles of overthinking. Remember, not every decision needs a committee meeting in your head. Set a time limit and trust your judgment. Let's kickstart our day with a positive mindset. There's a certain magic to the morning. It's a blank canvas, a fresh start, a chance to set the tone for the rest of the day. A positive morning routine can be a game changer in combating overthinking. It doesn't have to be elaborate or time-consuming. It can be as simple as a 5-minute meditation session before you even leave your bed. Or perhaps jotting down 3 things you're grateful for in a gratitude journal. You might choose to kick off the day with a bit of physical movement, be it a walk around the block or a quick yoga routine. The point is to engage in activities that uplift your spirit and set a positive tone for the day. This positive start acts like a shield, making you less susceptible to the pitfalls of overthinking as the day progresses. It's amazing how a positive start can make the whole day seem brighter and less prone to overthinking. In an era of multitasking, let's bring our focus back to single tasking. Indeed, when we try to juggle multiple tasks at once, our minds can become cluttered and overburdened. This can lead to unnecessary overthinking and stress. Single tasking, on the other hand, involves focusing on one task at a time. This approach allows us to fully engage with what we're doing, lessening the chances of our minds wandering off into the labyrinth of overthinking. Now, let's discuss the concept of minimizing daily input. In today's digital age, we're constantly bombarded with a barrage of information. News updates, social media feeds, emails, and more, all vying for our attention. This constant influx of information can be overwhelming, leading to overthinking as we try to process it all. By minimizing our daily input, we can significantly reduce this information overload. This doesn't mean we should cut ourselves off from the world. Rather, it's about being selective with the information we choose to engage with. For example, instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media, we can choose to read a book, watch an educational video, or engage in a hobby. By doing this, we're not only reducing the amount of information we have to process, but we're also filling our minds with meaningful and enriching content. Remember, by focusing on one task at a time and reducing unnecessary information, we can lessen the chances of overthinking. So let's embrace single tasking, filter our daily input, and make our minds a calm and clutter-free space. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. This statement holds a powerful truth that we often overlook in our quest for perfection and immediate results. If you're feeling overwhelmed by a task or a goal, remember that it's not a race, and it's definitely not about finishing first. It's about moving forward, one step at a time. Let's consider a relatable example, shall we? Imagine you're learning a new language. It's a daunting task, isn't it? All those new words, grammar rules, and pronunciation quirks might make you feel like you're facing an insurmountable wall. But what if you decided to learn just one new word a day? It might not seem like much, but over the course of a year, you would have learned 365 new words. That's a significant leap towards fluency, isn't it? The same principle applies to practically everything in life. Whether you're trying to write a book, lose weight, or learn a new skill, taking small, manageable steps can make the journey seem less intimidating and more achievable. And the best part, small steps help to reduce overthinking. When you focus on taking one step at a time, your mind is less likely to wander into the realm of what-ifs and could-have-beens. Instead, it focuses on the present, on the task at hand, which in turn helps to keep feelings of overwhelm and anxiety at bay. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will your dreams be. Small steps may not seem impressive, but they add up quickly and help to keep overthinking at bay. Let's shift our perspective from worst-case scenarios and prioritize a good night's sleep. Our minds can often become a breeding ground for negative thoughts and worst-case scenarios. We tend to magnify problems, anticipate disasters, and get stuck in a loop of worry and fear. But here's the key: we can shift this perspective. This is where the technique of reframing comes into play. Reframing involves consciously choosing to interpret an event or situation in a more positive or beneficial way. It's about challenging our own worst-case scenarios with more realistic and likely outcomes. It's about shifting the narrative from "what if everything goes wrong" to "what if everything goes right?" or "what can I learn from this situation?" It's not about denying the possibility of negative outcomes, but rather, it's about giving equal weightage to positive ones. Now let's talk about sleep. Quality sleep is the unsung hero of a healthy mindset. It's during sleep that our brains process the events of the day, consolidate memories, and rejuvenate for the next day. A lack of quality sleep can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and yes, overthinking. So how do we prioritize quality sleep? One way is by cultivating a calming bedtime routine. This could include reading a book, listening to soothing music, or practicing mindfulness. It's also important to create a sleep-friendly environment. Think cool, dark, and quiet. Avoiding screens before bed can also help signal to our bodies that it's time to wind down and sleep. Remember, our thoughts are powerful. They shape our perspective, our emotions, and our actions. By consciously reframing our thoughts and prioritizing quality sleep, we can create a healthier, more positive mindset. Reframing our thoughts and prioritizing sleep are powerful tools in our fight against overthinking. That wraps up our guide on how to stop overthinking everything. We've journeyed together through various strategies, each with the potential to help us break free from the chains of overthinking. We started by setting time limits for decision-making, a simple yet effective way to prevent our minds from spiraling into the abyss of what-ifs. We then delved into the importance of starting our day positively. Remember, a positive beginning sets the tone for the rest of the day. Next, we explored the concept of single-tasking and minimizing daily input. By focusing on one task at a time and reducing the unnecessary information we consume daily, we can declutter our minds and reduce overthinking. We also discussed the significance of taking small steps forward. Progress, no matter how small, can boost our confidence and keep us from getting stuck in our thoughts. Lastly, we learned about reframing worst-case scenarios and the crucial role of quality sleep. By challenging our fears and ensuring we get enough rest, we can maintain a positive mindset and keep overthinking at bay. Each of these strategies is a tool we can use to combat overthinking. Remember, the journey to a calm mind is not a sprint, but a marathon. It's about making small, consistent changes to our daily routine and thought processes. For more motivational articles, kindly visit www.zambiaminds.com/motivations. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Steve O's Portal, Informing Sensibly.